to say, yes, it doesn't work, but we have something else? Or is there any experience that you want to share quickly?
So one second. Amarjit, see, I think one thing Indians should be proud of is we never look at a definitive.
Close.
Yes.
Louder.
See, one thing I need to tell you here is, in India, our ancient taught us never to be yes or a no. There were always possibilities. So when you don't get, see, and unfortunately, the Western mindset is yes, no. You ask me, you are asking us a question from, if it doesn't work, what? There are always possibilities. For example, a very dear colleague, friend of mine, whom I used to work many years back, called Devdutt Patnaik, used to tell me, India have a million gods, because imagination is power. Indians have the ability to imagine, and human race has an ability to imagine. So don't get restricted to, just to answer your question, there's a lot of possibilities which will emerge. So there's no yes or no or a finite answer if it doesn't work. Definitely it will not work. All solutions don't work. We need to continue to experiment and try it out. My view. And in this context, I'll quote you, I'll encourage you to read on technology choices, a book by Vivek Wadhwa, a very famous writer, a favorite of mine. It's a book called Driver in the Driverless Car, if you've not heard of. It's about technology choices human race has to take. And in that context, I'll just add, people need to ask, technology creators and technology users need to ask 3 questions to themselves, and for the sake of humanity. The first one is, does the technology have the potential to benefit everyone equally? Is it democratizing? Yes, it is today. Many are, many don't. What are the risks and the rewards? Is something which the technology creator or a technology user needs to look at. And the last but not the least is, does the technology more strongly promote autonomy or dependence? Now today, are you and me dependent on this? Yes. Can I live without this for a day? No. And Gurudev today morning spoke about, no, not AI, he spoke about human intelligence and empathy, more about how the human intelligence needs to be tapped, the untapped potential of the human intelligence. And in that context, I want to leave you with the thought. Humanity will be decided by the technology choices you and me make, and our children, our families, our next generations make, in terms of how humanity will survive. Because everything, and today HR, and I believe in another 20 years, we may not even have jobs in HR. Because everything will be done by machines. Why do we need? We need to work more on the emotional and the well-being side. And we are working on that for several years now, how mindful we need to be. So I want to leave you with that. I don't want to leave you with an answer. I want to leave you with a question. So please be mindful about the technology choices you are making and you are using. I thought, have I confused you enough?
It's
then I
good
have
enough.
done my job.
I would like to give a definitive answer to Amarjeet's question. So, as sir correctly pointed out, there is always a range of possibilities and it's not yes or no, and that's exactly what I mentioned when I was explaining Infosphere as well. That give me a confidence that this candidate is not everywhere. Give me a confidence or give me a probability between 0 and 1 that this thing is going to happen. As I point out a lot of times on my Twitter as well, Twitter page as well, it's never white or black, it's always different shades of gray, right? And I mean, I want to give a very personal experience with that. So my friend is actually planning to switch his job. He works at Microsoft. So he has applied for Meta London and he's currently giving interviews. When I asked him that, are you going to shift to like UK? So he's like, no, I'm not going to. So I asked him, then why are you applying for that particular position? So his answer was like, I'm preparing for Google India interviews right now. So time and then you will come upon such, if I want to be crude in my language, such idiots in a way, or if I want to be very technical in my answer, you are going to face such outliers. Okay, in a data system, there are going to be numerous outliers which are not going to follow the pattern that has been confidently followed in the past. So that's one answer, that there can be outliers. The second answer is, when you are playing with data systems, there is a huge chance that you are not tapping on some dimensions which you thought earlier were not useful, but now they are being taken into consideration, right? So absence of some data points and some particular metrics being outliers is one of the technical answers why some of the assumptions you strongly or confidently project may not turn out to be correct at the end of the day. So that is a technical answer, like on top of the psychological answer that sir already gave.
Amarjeet, does that help you in any way?
Yeah.
I have taken 2 trends out of it, which of both the answers. Our Anshul, our dynamic software engineer, is almost telling you that I won't give you a 0-1 answer for any decision you want, I'll give you probabilities. I'll also tell you that what is a outlier here so that you can predict what can go wrong, right? He'll tell you those exceptions from a software standpoint. Our experienced HR